By popular demand, we're going to flame paint a dragonfly. This is his size. This is the torch I use. Let's go. For most flame painted designs, I do start with the back of the piece. Getting any defined color or patterns on the back is tricky because as soon as you flip that piece over and start to fire the front, the back does continue to heat. So for most styles, I aim for just a real even oxidation layer. It will end up having kind of a watercolor effect. I try to go slow. I don't want it to get too hot because I want it to have plenty of time to heat when it's flipped over to the other side and maybe still retain some color. Once I feel like I have a good base down, I will set it aside and let it cool thoroughly before I begin to fire the front. And thanks to the magic of editing, it's now been about 10 to 15 minutes and I'm ready to start firing the front. I like my dragonflies to be shades of pink and green. I feel like it suits their whimsical essence. If you followed along with some of my other videos, you know that pink is one of the last colors that you get in the flame painting process. So I'm going to start by heating the body that I want to end on a pink tone. And I'm going to slowly push it through the color progression, stopping just short of pink, which is going to be bright yellow. The reason that we stop before the color we actually want is because as we continue to heat the piece, obviously the color progression continues for everything that's already been fired. So especially for the pink, if we go too far, we run the risk of losing the color altogether. And next it will be moving on to the wings. Again, because I don't want the piece to overheat too quickly and start pushing through the colors, I'm going to be doing an alternating process back and forth to create the wing pattern. As dragonfly wings are sheer, I'm going to try to create that illusion by the way I overlap these lines. There's a really cool effect you can achieve when flame painting and placing these lines. So when you overlap them, you have your initial line, and then what will start to appear is like a ghost line or a shadow line, which will be slightly different in color. We're going to have to wait till the color starts to appear for them to pop out a little bit better, but it creates this almost three-dimensional in movement type effect. While I continue to create that pattern, let's go ahead and talk about the surface that I fire on top of. It is a pizza stone, for those of you wondering, and it has been a total game changer in my flame painting. I've got to shout out my husband for this. It was his idea. Before that, I was actually flame painting pieces by holding them with needle nose pliers. You can imagine how limiting that was, and with the heat not being able to transfer anywhere, pieces got hot real fast. The pizza stone is great because not only does it pull heat away from the copper, but it also pulls moisture, which can really impact the way your colors and your patterning turn out. And now that I've finished creating the wing pattern, I'm going to go ahead and pull the torch back and start focusing in on turning that body from yellow to pink. And by focusing the torch on the center there, it will allow for a very even distribution of heat and color progression throughout the wings as well. And at this point, you can start to see those shadow lines I was talking about coming through. I'm going to stop heating the piece when it starts to get to the final stages of blue right before it turns green. I need to account for as the piece cools and also how the clear coat process will impact it, which I will share in my next video all about the different types of clear coats I like and how they impact the colors. And as we flip the piece over, we see not a ton of color retention, but that's okay. The front is pretty. That's really what matters at the end of the day.